welcome to Hands On with Saber on Saberduelgaming, and as always, yeah, here they are. These are my hands. And today we are going to be looking, as always, at a number of pieces of gaming merchandise that I happen to own. And today's gaming merchandise, as it is May the 3rd, at least it's May the 3rd on the day you're watching this, that means we are on the eve of May the 4th, as in Star Wars Day. So I have decided to pick one of my all-time favorite Star Wars games and Star Wars gaming franchises, the Old Republic, the Knights of the Old Republic, and look specifically at gaming merchandise that I have linked to that particular franchise. And we are going to start with this fantastic piece. This is the starship of Darth Malgus. He was actually in the Old Republic, which is the online PC game, not Knights of the Old Republic. And he was sort of the big bad, that big villain, the equivalent of the Darth Vader. And this set included his ship, which is in its own strange little way similar to the TIE fighters, as well as a minifigure of himself, which was really quite cool. We also got a Sith Trooper, which were the equivalents to the Stormtroopers, as a Lego minifigure. The ship itself is as much a featured piece as the minifigures are. We've got the little cockpit for him there, and a little bit at the back where his troops can be deployed from. I think the set actually came with another one of these. I'm trying to remember if there was a second one with it. I have a couple other troops from other sets as well. I also do have a Jedi sort of consular ship upstairs, but I wasn't entirely sure if that featured specifically in the game. I never actually got to play the Old Republic, the PC version of the game, so I only know this ship from some books, further reading, etc. that I did. But still, a very cool build, a really nice looking set, and something that was a lot of fun to make. Plus, I particularly love this Lego minifigure. Up next, it's Star Wars The Old Republic Fatal Alliance by Sean Williams. Sean Williams has written quite a few really good Star Wars books. There's actually a whole host of these novels that are set during the period of the Old Republic. Quite a few of them actually feature Darth Malgus, who we saw in the in those Lego minifigure set we just showed a minute ago. And some of them feature other Lego minifigures we're going to see again soon. This one is quite interesting. As you can see, it's a relatively chunky book as well, quite a hardy one. This one actually features the Sith and the Sith Empire and Jedi on behalf of the Republic of the time, needing to work together to combat a even greater threat, which is always quite a good selling point. But yeah, it's quite a good book. I love the sort of cover on this, those sorts of reds and oranges, and I just think it looks so cool. Even the writing, the logo for the Old Republic here, which it says, rather than Knights of the Old Republic, this is just the Old Republic. It just looks so haunting. Looks very much as similar to scenes on Mustafar that we'd see in Star Wars Episode 3 as well. Haven't read this one for quite some time, but I don't think, from my understanding, it ties in directly to the events of the Old Republic video game, more something of a spin-off. Inevitably, we had to come to the games themselves: Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. Both of these are absolutely outstanding games. We can see here this one, 9.5 out of 10 for the Xbox, 9 out of 10. Yeah, just such an incredible game. and the disc isn't in there. That was actually still in my Xbox, which says it all, really, doesn't it? It was just such a great game. They were actually on the PC as well. This one, the sequel there. Oh, sequel to the 2003 Xbox Game of the Year winner. So that was that one. Yeah, nice casing, nice artwork on it. You can see here, this one was actually a pre-owned copy, as you can see here on the book. Again, back when video games had actual booklets with them, which, oh, I do miss. I understand reasons for moving away from them, especially environmentally and stuff, but still very much miss them. These were two of my all-time favourite games. I'm going to have to get the disc back in that rather than leaving it in my Xbox. But yeah, two fantastic games, very, very much loved. I played these both to death. I've replayed both of them multiple times. I did briefly play, I believe it was the first one, on the PC as well as my own copies on the Xbox. One of my friends had a PC, and he was playing it on there, but I much preferred playing on the Xbox. But just fantastic games. I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to the Gaming Lord 04. I actually went to a comic convention with him doing Darth Nihilus here as cosplay, which was quite cool. So yeah, but fantastic games. I currently play both of them on the Nintendo Switch. Unfortunately, I don't think either one is downloadable on the PS5. Otherwise, I would absolutely do a full stream of the games on there. Maybe if they ever come out on the PS5, I will do that. Otherwise, I'll have to hold off and just do game reviews. But two fantastic games, very much the basis for this entire episode. Speaking of Darth Nihilus, we have these figures here. This one being Darth Nihilus from the second of those two games, and this being one of my all-time favourite Star Wars characters, Darth Revan, or in this version we see Jedi Knight Revan. Darth Revan, or Revan, was the main sort of character featured in the original Knights of the Old Republic. He was, spoilers, okay, given in advance, he is the character you play as in the game. Actually has amnesia, so he doesn't remember that he's Darth Revan. A Jedi who fell to the dark side, but because of his amnesia, you play as him and basically get the option as to whether he returns to the light or slips back to the dark side. But I absolutely love this figure of him in his full sort of light side Jedi robes. Purple lightsaber there is always a win. Just a gorgeous figure. And this one here, Darth Nihilus, the main antagonist in the second of the two games that we just saw before, the Sith Lords. He is known as the Lord of Hunger. You can see the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic logo there. It's not actually on this one. We've got the Galaxy of Heroes logo instead there. But this is just a really cool figure. The character in this one was very much overpowered. He literally consumed planets to feed his dark side hunger. But two fantastic figures tying in directly to the games. I obviously have lots more Star Wars figures, but these are specifically, as you can see here, gaming greats they are called, and are specifically tying into those Star Wars games. But I'm particularly focusing on the Knights of the Old Republic. I do actually have a lot of merchandise for other Star Wars games, including at least one of these figures, tying into a different Star Wars game, but we'll save those for another time. And lastly, these two tiny little chaps down here. See if we can zoom in a smidge. Look at the little guys. These are the two main guys from that original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Here we have Dark Side Revan. in a Lego minifigure. This was from back when, I believe, either the first or second year where they did a special May 4th event for Lego. This was the special reward if you spent over, I believe, £50 or £60. This Darth Revan Lego minifigure could not be bought with any other set. The cape on this poor little guy's faded a little bit there, unfortunately. Might do a little bit of a swap around at some point. That's not dust, that's actually just fading. But still a fantastic figure. This figure is very much sought after, very rare, and very much one that I'm particularly proud of having in my collection. And this is probably the newest. This is part of the, as you can see here on the thing, 25 years of Lego Star Wars. So they've actually put a selection of Lego Star Wars minifigures, special brand new ones, exclusive with sets. And I recently purchased the buildable R2-D2 set that came with this. And I recently purchased a Lego R2-D2 set that came with this Darth Malak, who is the main antagonist in the first of the two Knights of the Old Republic games. He is basically the apprentice to Darth Revan. So when Darth Revan gets amnesia, turns to the light, Darth Malak becomes the villain. He's got this metal piece around his jaw because Darth Revan actually cuts his jaw off. What is it with Sith Lords? They've always got to lose part of their face in some way. But a very cool minifigure with a lovely little stand there. Yeah, something I very much enjoy. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you've enjoyed this little special May 4th, well, technically May 3rd, but May 4th look through some of my favourite Star Wars pieces of gaming merchandise, all tied in to this game right here, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Potentially one of my favourite games of all time, certainly one of, if not my favourite Star Wars game of all time. It spawned a whole host of fantastic characters, and in many ways set the standard for how a game can spawn off into its own sub-franchise and create a whole series of characters and lore that becomes so beloved it becomes accepted in the overall love and lore of Star Wars. But yeah, do you have any interest in these games? I don't know if all of you are Star Wars fans, whether you are fans of Knights of the Old Republic, the kind of merchandise you're seeing here. But if you have, please comment below. Let me know if you have any Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic gaming merchandise. If you've played either of the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games, comment below and let me know what you thought about them. Would you like to see game reviews of them? If you've played the Old Republic, the sort of PC online version of this game, comment and let me know what you thought of that. That's not something I've ever played, so I'd really like to hear your thoughts on that. Other than that, I want to wish everyone a fantastic weekend, and may the 4th be with you.